Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, July 6th. Hope everybody had a nice 4th of July. This is the QOL pre-market analysis. We do this every morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Before we get going, I want to start out with a little housekeeping here. So if you go to our website, which I'm also going to paste in the chat, and it's also down in the description below, you'll come to our webpage right here. And first things first, put your name, your email address in here, and you will be on the free subscription for our newsletter that we put out every Sunday. We put out our 16th edition yesterday, and in the edition, you will get levels, everything that happened in the week, the ES, Qs, as many different levels as I can add in there. Now we've put in SpaceX, Tesla, of course, Bitcoin, crude oil, and you'll get a recap of the week and my opinion, and it's for educational purposes, of course. You have to do your own homework, but this is my studying of levels and different analysis of the market. I go over geopolitical news, what to watch for the week, all my biases on certain things. And then at the very bottom here, we talk about our new QOL Universal opening range break scalper, of which we'll get into with that. After you put your name and your email address in there, you'll automatically get a free subscription on that. And then if you want to join our Discord community, you can go to Live Desk here. And then when you go to the live trading desk here, you can, down here, join for free. And then if you want to have the live trading room from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, you can start a free trial here. And then your cost is a monthly fee there. And then on top of that, if you like what you see with this new ORB scalper, it's pretty much a chart analysis. It's not telling you when to buy, when to sell. However, it's taking a lot of the discretionary away from the market. And then on top of that, if you want to do both, there is a better package deal for you can do the full package here for $99.99, and you get the trade room and the ORB scalper, and I go over everything there. So that's it for the housekeeping there. Let's get into the economic data. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. So what do we have today? We have ISM manufacturing at 9 o'clock. We didn't really have much this morning, so pay attention to that. Red folders you always have to watch out for. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if there's really that much on the docket here. I think I saw some Fed speak. Yeah, so we have FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So you can watch yourself on Wednesday. Thursday, existing home sales, unemployment claims. I don't see anything in there. And then Friday seems like a pretty light day as well. So that being said, let's get into it. We'll start out and take a look at... let's start out at the VIX. I think VIX has kind of calmed down for us all here. So that's the VIX. Yeah, we've had this level down here at $15.74. We finally reached it in post-market on on Wednesday. Got a little gap up here, so hopefully that gap will fill, because that means that the market is going to rally a little bit, and that'll pretty much just identify the market volatility a little bit. So we are below 50-day moving average of $17.49, which is pretty good, and the 20-day and the 200. So as long as we stay down here, things are calming down in the marketplace. So that's definitely pretty exciting for the near term. I think everybody is kind of bracing themselves for what could potentially happen. Looking at oil right now, I've had the 67.83 number down there. We did dip below it the other day. I'd like it to pop down. However, we do have some gap downs. We have a gap down from June 15th at $84.34. And then above that, I think there's one gap down here at $96.99 a barrel. We are below the 20-day moving average, which is positive, and the 50-day, which is also positive as well. So, I think that everybody is just anticipating, with the straits opening up, that the oil prices are going to continue to go down. However, it doesn't impact us immediately in our retail pocketbooks, because A lot of these oil companies have high priced inventory, so they're going to have to lower that inventory before prices come down. I also read something this weekend that China may be a big buyer, so everybody's anticipating oil to crash, but I think China may step in there and start buying up a lot of the surplus there, so it keeps things in balance there. So if you're trying to short oil at this level right now, I would be careful in my own opinion, right? Do your own homework on that. Get into the ES right now. Got to hold the close here from Thursday, rather, 75.22.33. If we can get above that 75.93.75 level, then you can start pushing towards all-time highs. We are above the 20-day moving average. It's going to open up at 74.93.80 and the 50-day at 74.74. If you lose those levels, you come down here, test this June 12th low at 74.27.44, and then maybe you come back down here and you test this close point of control at 73.63. Let's get into the SPY. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. The SPY is going to look pretty similar. Same thing, we're above the 50. The 50 is sitting at 737.43, and the 20 at 741.08, and it's above this May 15th high, sitting at 743.46. I don't mind that. You have a filled point of control at 750.25. Could get a little resistance there. If you do pop through that, we do have this open point of control at 757.70, which is sitting just below all-time highs at 760.40. On the downside here, if you lose 763.53, 736.53, you've got this May 12th low at 731.75, but below that, I think it's like a clear shot back down here to this midline regressional trend line that I have. From dating back from October 13th, 2022, and it's also sitting at June above June lows at 716.58. So watch those levels there if you do start to get a flush. Nasdaq, quickly on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is kind of caught in between the 50 and the 20. The 50 is sitting at 29,535. The 20 is going to open up probably right where it's at right now, 29,951.13. If you get above that, I think we have a nice little speed zone. You could possibly push back into that June 16th high. 30,545.75. I don't really see much resistance up here. Possibly, you could possibly get some resistance here at this point of control that was closed on Wednesday of last week. 30,257.30 could be a level here. On the downside, if you lose 29,507.67, we have this open point of control down here at 29,000. 44 and change. Let's go over to Qs. Qs are going to show the same thing. Got a little gap up here from the close last week, so you got to watch that down here at 714.41, which is just above the close from last week at 712.60. We are above the 20-day moving average right now, so you can watch that level as a level to possibly get long, 721.17. And then if you push here, on the upside here, maybe a little speed zone being created into the 731.92 level. And if you get above that, then you can start pushing towards all-time highs at 748.65 level. On the downside here, if the 20 and the 50 start to consolidate here and possibly 20 drop below the 50, you're going to get some downside. Open point of control from June 11th, 723. Below that, 686.37. On the downside, there is June lows. That's a must hold. If you lose that, then you come to this April's high from 668 to 668.90, which is also sitting above the 100-day moving average, sitting at 656.87. So those are pretty decent levels here. But everything right now, it seems like it's just like in this consolidation pattern, it's kind of whippy pattern here. The volatility is not surprising based on geopolitical stuff that goes on. And especially over a long weekend like we just had. So that's it for the ES, Qs, SPY, and Qs. So let's go right into the Mag 7. Tesla we'll cover in a minute, so we'll start off with NVIDIA. NVIDIA right here sitting below the 100-day moving average of 196.99. Got to get above that in order to push higher into that 199.34 level. On the downside, must hold this regressional trend line that I have here from May of this year, sitting at 190, call it 194.15. If we lose that, we come down to the 20-day moving average, 200-day moving average at 191.03. Below that, We've got a 188.88 level sitting there from March 16th of this year. Let's get moving here. We're going to fly through these mags. So these levels haven't changed, people, so just put them on your chart to a cut and paste and copy. Sitting above the Apple had a real nice move. However, you got a little speed zone here. You got to watch yourself. So it's important it holds 303.36 level. If you lose 303.36 level, big possibility to come back down here. This 20-day moving average 294.60. If you can get above the close from Thursday, possibly you could push into all-time highs 317.40. I'm not sure what kind of news came out on Apple. I don't follow it, but I'm just trying to give you guys some levels. So you can see right here, you have the 20-day sitting at 294.80 and the 50-day sitting at 293.52. So that'll be an important level. If it did flush, you could possibly take a long there. But also keep in mind, if you lose that level, we do have more speed zone down here, coming down to 287.22, and then below the 287.22, we have another zone down here that I have at 280.18. Okay, let's keep moving. We'll talk about Meta. Meta had a pretty wild week last week. Big spike on cloud announcement for Meta. Got to hold the lows. Definitely got to hold the lows from Thursday. Here's the close. That's going to be an important level. If Meta flushes to 582.90, you may get a bounce there. If you could pop through this 592.66 level, which is April of 2025's high, then you could push up into this, it's a regressional trend line that I have here from October 29th of 2025, sitting at 598.80. This does kind of create a little bit of a speed zone as well. So if you did get above that, then you could push into the 50-day moving average sitting at 605.29, and above that, you've got a close from, I think it was last Wednesday possibly, sitting at 612.76, which is just below the 100-day moving average, sitting at 617.62. So pretty big span of range here for Meta. So watch your levels. Got to hold the 576.70 in order to continue to get upside. You also have this high here at 572.24 from June 23rd of this year. All right, let's get over into Google. Google kind of consolidating right now. It's sitting here. It's kind of stuck here on the 20-day moving average. Sitting right here at about, call it 356.53. So kind of a range here. You can maybe mark these levels here, 360.99. If you break above that, maybe you got a little pop into this 363.09 level. You do have we are below the 50-day moving average, so it possibly could trade in that range. 368.24 on the 50, and then call the 20-day. We're sitting right on it, 356.47. If you lose the 356.47, could come down here to this June 24th high at 382.83. Below that, you've got a June 30th low at 348.10. And then below that, you got some speed zones here. So this 344.12 will be pretty important. If not, you got a pretty big speed zone right here. That'll take you down to 337.77. All right, let's get into Amazon. Amazon's going to be a quick one. Amazon consolidating for sure. Stuck in between the 20-day moving average, 240.25, and 250.42 on the 50-day moving average there. So same thing. Pull back long maybe on the 20-day. If you lose that, you do have the 100-day moving average at 235.48. And then below that, you got the 200-day moving average. You also have a June 29th low, 233.80. All right, last but not least, Microsoft. Very tough move on Microsoft, as of this whole last several months, right? Pretty nasty. Where is that from? That's from actually this whole month. It's been kind of getting its teeth kicked in. So you got to watch that. Watch this 20-day moving average level right now. We're sitting right at it. 386.96 is the level you want to hold. However, looking at this close from Friday, little pop and fade on that. If you do pop into that, you could take a short there. And we had this regressional trend line here from July 31st, about a year ago, almost a year ago now, on the upside here. So try to get above it, and it lost it right now. So if we lose the 20-day, could come down to this close from, when is that close from? July 1st, sitting right here at 384.30. So watch that. And then below that, 381.90 is the June 12th low. And then if we lose that low here, I don't really have much here until this 366.84 level. So consolidating, it looks like right now. I think if you can get above Friday's highs or Thursday's highs, excuse me, at 392.23, then you could possibly work into that 397 level, which was a low from, where was that low? That low from April 30th. Okay. Let's touch on SpaceX real quick. Let me give you a better chart on that for SpaceX. Where are you? All right, here's your SpaceX. SpaceX levels are getting a little better for us. We're getting some good data right now. Looks like it's consolidating in between this 165.52 level and this 157.01 level. All right, so watch those levels today. Break above 165.52, you can push into this 168.35 level, which is June 15th low. Creates a nice little speed zone that we have right up in here. And if you can get above that 168.35, possibly move into this 176.52 level. This all becomes a speed zone. Big sellers, no buyers, right? Downside here, it loses a 157.01. You have the IPO open at 150, and below that, you have the IPO low at 135. Great. Let's get into Tesla. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. Tesla, where are you? So Tesla, perfect example of buy the rumor, sell the news, people. I mean, what a crazy sell-off that we had here on Thursday. I certainly was not expecting that. I'm sure a lot of people, maybe some people were, but in my eyes, good news is it created a real nice speed zone on the way up if we can get that rally to get there, right? But right now we are treading, we're stuck right here at the 100-day moving average, sitting at 398.04, and the 20-day moving average at 399.28. These are going to be pretty big levels. You had the 50-day sitting at 406.42. I think your line in the sand today is going to be this 401.06 level. If you can get above that, you could possibly push into this June 30th low at 403.51. You may get some resistance there. On the upside, to be confident, you're going to have to regain this 50. 406.42, that's going to be it for the upside, to be confident there. On the downside, we are definitely flirting with some different levels here. We did have this come back down in here into this supply zone here. Demand zone that we have here. However, we do have a little bit of an open gap. Let me clean this up for everybody here. So we do have a little bit of a gap up here from the weekend here, right? So I've got it marked down here, 393.63. It gapped up a little bit. So a little tiny gap I have on here. And then actually below that, I got another little tiny gap up from June 29th to 377.86. So I'm looking at this this regressional trend line that I have here at 392.35. If you lose that, 387.80 is a June 26 high. You could possibly pull back into, and then possibly pull back down into this 382.78, and below that 377.86. Upside here, like I said, this all creates a nice speed zone. Why is it a speed zone? Because what happens is you could have people that are covering their longs. Everybody was getting long down here. Let's just fan out a little bit. If we go 4 hour, look a little better here for us. So everybody's getting long over here, down here. I think this is, where are we here? I think this may have been, yeah, that was April. So everybody started getting long and started stepping higher, big moves on Tesla. So it's not for the faint at heart. But you get that big sell-off right there. That's concerning on the downside. I'm not really looking to get long yet until we can get above this 50-day moving average, like I said here. But you could get a lot of headwinds as if the market tries to pop on you, right? So watch that level on the, watch your levels here. Your 20-day exponential moving average. Let me just shrink this for you so you guys can see it better. You got a 20-day exponential moving average sitting at 401.06. As you can see how it's respecting that a little bit right now, but it is pre-market, so I don't put too much weight on the pre-market side. Got to get above this 20-day moving average, 399.22. It's stuck in between the 20-day and the 100-day moving average. So These you could base your trades off of these levels in one way or the other, right? You could take your short, you could take your long. You know, if you break above it and pull back, take your long off of it, pop into this 20, take your short. Maybe your stop is above this 20-day exponential moving average. You do have this gap down here. This will probably most likely fill, could probably fill before the market opens. We still have another 40 minutes until the market opens there. But we do have this high from June 26th. If we did flush a little bit, I don't mind this 387.80 level, you know, and it actually lines up pretty well with our supply and demand levels that we have here. So you can see right here, this does create a speed zone down here, so you got to watch yourself. If you lose that 389.01 level, 382.78 could be a level that we pull back into, so you're going to watch that. Here's the flip zone right here. Got to get above this 402.96. I would even say 403.51. And then you push into this 50-day moving average. You probably get a little resistance up there, but if you can plow through that 50-day, you can retrace all of this. And getting back to the speed zone, what makes it a speed zone is you have people that are long covering it with a combination of people taking on a new position. So when you have one directional and it does not give you, like, you know, kind of a heartbeat back and forth, that becomes a speed zone. So now what happens is these, we're looking at a 15-minute chart. So for the first hour, I think maybe even hour and a half on Thursday, market sold off. So it was a combination of long covers and people taking on new positions. So what these people that are taking on new positions right now, if the market starts coming back, it's going to be a short squeeze. These shorts are going to have to buy, and when they're buying, when the markets are going up, nobody's selling, right? So they're going to be paying up for it, and so that'll push us back up into these levels here. This all-time high at 415.50. This has always been a level for us. You can see how it reacted on Thursday. I was looking for that level to take a long. I did take a long there, and I saw that there was just too much momentum pushing, and I got out of that trade real quick, right? So 414.50 is still going to be a major level to get above if you do manage to get above this 50-day at 406.27. So that being said, let's get into what we're going to do for today. We're going to start out with today's expiration dates. On Tesla, I'm going to have the 400 calls here. You can see they closed at $2.81 on Thursday. However, we are above the close. The close was $393.45. So currently, right now, we're $5 higher. This will open up in the high threes, I would imagine. And then the 395 puts, they closed at $6.35. I'm going to imagine that these are going to open up in the high threes as well, because we are above the actual strike price, right? So I'll start off with these strike prices that expired today. I'll be trading that probably the first hour and a half, and then potentially switch to Wednesday's expiration date. Regarding SpaceX, I tried dabbling in SpaceX a little bit, and I don't think it's quite ready yet. The reason why I say that is the spreads are too big. They're more than 10 cents sometimes. They start off, sometimes they kind of tease you. When the market starts trading, it gives you a 5-cent bid offer. All of a sudden, you get in the market and the spread widens to 15 cents. So that's too big of a spread to trade. So I'm going to let that just kind of percolate a little bit before we get into SpaceX. But I do think SpaceX long-term will be a good option to trade, right? Because it's giving you some good positive direction one way or the other, as long as the liquidity gets in there. I mean, they are getting some decent volume come in there, but the spreads are just too big for me. I'm still watching it though. So lastly, which I forgot to talk about, is our QOL ORB trade scalper. So it's an analysis of the market. So it helps you look at the market, what the market's doing, and it takes away a lot of your decisiveness, right? So if we go back and we look at Thursday, it didn't really have to give you too many signals on Thursday, right? So this is kind of unfair to look at. However, this is exactly how it works. It gives you, actually it did give you some decent signals here. So in the morning, which I call the pre-market analysis on Thursday, watch out for the pop, and then Tesla could fade off the pop. And it did exactly that. But however, we are looking right here, we're looking at a 1-minute chart. It told you to take your long, right? Or it said you could take a long here, not telling you what to do, but this is helping you take your decisiveness away, because all of this is plotted automatically, so you don't have to sit here and draw lines on your charts, right? So when the market opens, it gives you your levels, it gives you your green line for, the high green line, that's your range on the high side, and the red line is your low range on the low side. So it gives you your opening range on the 1 minute. Then the market popped, told you to take, you could take a long right here, and then a big sell-off came and said exit. And then the next candle right here told you to take a short right here. It didn't tell you once you took that short right here at 8:33, 3 minutes after the market opened, it didn't give you an exit signal until 9:12. So, when you sold that break at 426, you literally could have rode that thing down to 412, $14 move on there. And so that's big dollars, people, if you're able to understand how to read this price action, right? So you can put this on any equity, you can put this on any foreign currency, crypto, and see how it plays out, right? I only studied Tesla, and I started putting it on different stocks, but I know you can apply it to different stocks and it gives you the same signals, right? So you can put it on a 1 minute, you can put it on 1 minute, you can put it on a 2 minute, you can put it on a 5 minute, you can put it on a 15 minute. Put any equity in there, right? And the way you get there is exactly how we showed you in the morning. Here, go to QOLtrading.com, and then you join our WAP community, and then you could get access to this by itself, or you can have access with the trade room together. To me, I think that you're going to want some tutorials on this before you grab it and try to take a first spin. But that being said, it's been working out wonderfully, and I am going to cut it off right there. So again, if there's anything you want me to cover that I don't normally cover, feel free to drop a line in the chat box or in the comments, and I will do my best to cover it. However, I do not cover any penny stocks. And then lastly, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like the video, and I don't mind if you share the video as well. Have a great day. I'll see everybody tomorrow.